Secrets and sacrifices. This is branch 3 of module 1. What secrets are you holding and what sacrifices are you making? A lot of times we sacrifice our truths and we hold our secrets close to our chest, thinking it will protect us and protect our relationship with others. It's in fact quite the contrary, because the minute you're holding secrets within you, you will become suspicious, thinking other people are holding secrets within them. If you're not living with your authenticity, you will quickly deem other people not being authentic. So are you wearing masks or are you being true to yourself? If you're being true to yourself, are you being true to others around you? It's very easy for us to blame other people for things that we're guilty of ourselves. And if we don't hold ourselves accountable, how can we expect other people to be accountable to us? The key to peeling off the layers is being able to look in the mirror with purity and truth. And even if you've been sacrificing things or secrets, that you tell people or that you explain to them or that you come bare to yourself and say, well, I did this. I know it was wrong. If I don't feel like sharing that truth now with the other person because it will be too much trouble, I'm forgiving myself and hoping for the best outcome, knowing that I will bury that. But you have to acknowledge it to you. It is fundamental that you acknowledge your truths. Living with half-truths forces other people to live with half-truths as well. And then we want to blame them or criticize them, or we feel like there's an elephant in the room. Why does this happen? Because we're not actually living authentically, mind, heart, body, soul, together as one person aligned. If we're aligned, we can find our truths in simplicity, and we can make the right decisions congruently. But for us to deem up all this noise in our minds about other people, we have to first see what we're guilty of and really look at it in the mirror and say, well, I didn't tell him this, but he said this to me, right? I mean, all of the detail of this, you know it better than I do because it's your situation. But you have to hash out that detail, zoom into it deeply in order to really find the mirror where you admit what you're guilty of. At first to yourself, and if you're willing, to the other person. Because thereafter you can look to breaking down the pieces and look for resolutions that work for you and the other person, and not hold resentment in your heart. Resentment serves no one. So I know that you're angry still perhaps, or that you're still holding things in your heart, but we will break them down piece by piece. Do I want to punish someone? Is it fair? If I'm punishing them just to make myself feel better, is it fair? If I'm insecure, is it fair that I make someone else feel bad for that? Or is it my responsibility to feel self-secure in order to withstand and sustain any situation that arises? So many times our demons are our own, and yet we blame them on other people. It's not fair. We're not allowed to do that. It doesn't work. The key is to resolve your own challenges first and to admit to yourself what your misdemeanors are. Once you've looked at your misdemeanors and you see how the other person's been reacting, you may actually have sympathy and empathy for the person, because maybe they've handled you really well, but you're not realizing it because you're busy looking at you. Think about it. I didn't know I wasn't at peace until I was. It's a beautiful line. I didn't know I wasn't at peace because I was busy fighting with myself constantly. The minute I liberated that, the minute I liberated the noise, and I said, I'm okay, everything's gonna be fine, I was able to find peace. Why? Because I'm not demanding something from somebody else. I'm not seeking someone else to make me feel better about me. It's me who has to make me feel better about me. I don't need to wait for someone to buy me roses. I buy my own roses. And you should too. What is the demand that we have? Why do we feel that in order to be loved, someone has to do A, B, or C? Be it a parent, be it a friend, be it a spouse, be it a partner. One has to take responsibility and accountability for ourselves in order to be happy. Have I told my loved ones the way I became who I am today? Have I told my spouse the way I became the way I am today? Have I told my parents my experiences that I had at school or university that shaped the way I am today? Have I told those people that count the noises that I have in my mind and the way I speak to myself? We are one human being, and our relationships with each person in our lives are very small, actually, when we are so complete. The key to wanting balance is to find a relationship where you can actually share you authentically, aligned, which means coming to terms with you altogether first. How many of us have done that? And it's a journey to do it, a beautiful one, a worthy one. So before we want to blame someone else for our situation, collectively or individually, we must first look at ourselves and deem whether we've been responsible in sharing, in being authentic, in being loving, and then look at whether the situation right now has been caused by doubt, insecurity, jealousy. To really name it, call it what it is, and to learn to say what you mean and mean what you say.